Well, welcome to our live taping for those of you who have been to one before. Welcome back for those of you here for the first time. Thanks for joining us. And let's get started.
Okay.
Yes! Hello, and welcome to the official Broadwaysted podcast where we're drunk on theater. I'm your host, Brian Plofsky, and would you like sparkling, tap, or still water?
Well, that's terrible.
That's good. Don't get it.
Oh.
We've got a fever, dog. You have to be there with your love thing, but love comes and goes. So if there's a chance upon you in your hour of need, act like a rolling stone and gather no moss on Penny Lane.
I'm on board now. Yeah.
Joining us today, live from the main stage at BroadwayCon 2020, are the usual tiny dancers, including Kevin Almost Jagger.
I'll take it. Yeah, that's fine.
Kimberly, our famous game master and unofficial babysitter for the
That was cute. I like that.
And with us today is a returning guest who you may know from TV in Arrow, Chicago Med, The Affair.
Ooh.
There's Showtime fans here.
That's extra.
Yeah. And Love on Iceland. Or
The African treats.
Or you've seen him in New York in Jersey Boys, Violet, Anything Goes, Lady Be Good, Love's Lakers Lost, Merrily We Roll Along, and Songs for a New World. He was just seen and almost famous on the West Coast.
Oh, yeah.
So let's give a big Broadwaysted welcome to friend of the show,
Friend of the show!
Colin Donnell! Welcome.
Thanks for having me back.
Yeah. Technically, this is our first time having you because you had us last time.
That's right. We did the last recording at my apartment in Chicago.
Yeah, when you were still a doctor.
Yes, and I had a full bar accessible to us.
And we drank all of it.
But today we're drinking.
What are you drinking?
What are you drinking? So we're drinking red wine that I brought to Brian's apartment once for a welcome gift. And it's
That's
called.
where it came from?
Yes, that's literally my welcome gift is for BroadwayCon apparently.
How old is this?
It's aged to age. And this is Menage a Trois Cabernet. Oh, I see what you did there. It's like Menage a Quattro. But that's mixing.
Well, thanks for joining us, Colin. I guess let's talk about, we're going to do a little hellos and goodbyes today.
Yeah.
Let's start with the goodbyes. Thank you so much for joining us. That was already so you said goodbye to two pretty big things in your life this year in terms of professionally. Arrow ended this year and you did a little arc in the final season.
Yep.
And then you left the Chicago ER.
Close enough.
Yeah. Chicago. And I guess talk a little bit about kind of those experiences and kind of those leading towards new beginnings.
Yeah. No. We said goodbye to Arrow this year. The final episode is actually on this next week, which is pretty amazing.
Cool.
And I got to do some really fun stuff. You know, it was cool to go back and visit the show over its 8-season run. And that's a long time for a television show to be on the air. They had, I don't know the exact episode count that they actually did, but it's a lot of episodes and a testament to the show and the hard work that the cast and crew put in and the creators. And especially the fans who stuck with it for all those years that it became the hit that it was. And it was really amazing, and I'm very, it was emotional to say goodbye to it, but also I'm very excited for everybody and what they're moving on to next.
Sure, absolutely.
And then Chicago as well. It was, I got to go back for the beginning of their 5th season. And I'm very happy to see the show's continued success. And it's really, to have 2 shows that have been a large part of go on for 8 seasons one and 4 seasons the other. That doesn't happen all that often in a person's career. It's really amazing to have those two shows, and Showtime, which apparently, or The Affair, which nobody watched. You know. Cool, check it out. Maybe the first 2 seasons at least. That as well has it's had an enormous success over on Showtime. So to have, I feel very lucky to have been a part of shows that have been very successful, and I've been a good part of it. And goodbye always it can be an emotional thing, but it opens lots of doors to other things, and I'm very excited about what's to come.
Sure, so let's talk a little bit about the hellos.
Yeah.
You were in San Diego. You did a run of Almost Famous.
Correct.
Tell us a little bit about that experience. What's exciting you about a new project or a project like that? How familiar were you with the Cameron Crowe movie before that?
Yeah. Should I assume that you guys have all seen Almost Famous?
Yes.
Oh, okay. You had me worried there before.
It's only
Fair, almost famous.
No, I was extremely intimate with the movie, not in that way. I just really liked it. But I remember when it first came out, and I remember being blown away by it because it was this whole world of music that I grew up with, that I was introduced to by my parents and my older brothers, but it was, seeing the firsthand experience that Cameron had put onto film. And so when we first started working on it a couple years ago, I was just super excited to be in the room with him and to be working on the movie, or working on the musical adaptation of the movie, and to be playing a role like Russell Hammond was so exciting to me, because every once in a while something comes along and it feels like it fits like a glove, and Russell is one of those characters for me.
So when you're doing something like that, you're originating a new character for that medium. How much of a Billy Crudup performance do you look at? How much of it is just because it's so kind of ingrained in you because you knew the movie, versus looking at the script and kind of reading between the lines of how it was adapted?
Yeah, I steal. Why should I would like to come out as a kleptomaniac. No, there's so much of what Billy Crudup did in that role that just worked, which was amazing. And so it would be stupid, I think, to ignore it. And so it's not like I'm copying his performance, but there was no reason for me not to go back and watch the film again, because A, I really love it, and B, I love his performance. So I'm sure there are things that he did in the movie that have transferred with me onto stage, but now that we've been working on it, and I've been living in the role for a little bit, it feels like mine.
Yeah.
And I think because of who I am, I'm not him, so it's inherently going to be different. So it's fine if I steal.
Cool. Let's play a
I'm going to
game.
steal your wine soon.
But we gave you stuff.
Let's play a game.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I have a quick game of heads up, and now I normally would bring out my scenery bag full of Lights of Broadway show cards, but no one out there would be able to see them from here.
Right.
Fair.
So I stayed up late last night and just transferred them to these giant pieces of paper.
Dedication.
And since I made all of these, I will not be playing this game with you guys.
That makes sense.
Out there.
Yeah.
I think that makes sense.
Sure, sure.
So
I should
what's
tell
going to
everybody
happen?
first, though, that the
Yeah.
last time we played,
I don't remember what games we played.
I suck.
But if you listen back to the episode, it is edited to make it sound brilliant.
Anywho.
So basically, I will just stand behind you guys and be the heads up forward game, basically.
Oh, got it.
Okay.
We're going to give you 2 minutes each round. The first round, they're both going to be sort of round robin. I'll stand over Brian's head. You both give him clues so he can get it. Once he gets it, he can keep it. That's his point. And then I'll move on to Kevin, and then to Colin, and so forth.
Okay.
The second round,
Yep.
The audience will be giving the clues. BroadwayCon! This is basically try and beat Brian.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yes,
Just
I'm down
try.
with
The audience would be better at giving clues than Brian.
Yep.
That's all I ask.
You're gonna put something over my head, it's gonna be silent.
It'll say the affair.
Yeah.
These are all Showtime shows. This is gonna be weird. Brian, you want to move to my chair?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
No problem. You're gonna take my mic.
Right.
Walking.
Walking, perfect for a podcast.
This will be edited out, but you guys get to see it live all the dead time. I'm gonna pull up page time. And I'm gonna put my mic down.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'm gonna win, just so everyone knows.
Alright, 2
Thank you.
minutes. The first one is easy because you've seen it.
Ben Franklin's in this musical.
1776.
Yes. Is that my point?
No. It's
Tracy Turbine.
Yes.
Hairspray.
No.
I told you I was terrible!
From the 60s,
70s,
psychedelic.
60s, psychedelic.
Burger?
Yeah. It's,
Bob?
No. You said the name.
Hairspray?
Take away spray.
Hair?
Yeah.
Hair!
And Ben Vereen won the Tony for this.
Quarter of the sky?
Oh, Pippin!
Yeah. Oh, you get the easy clue, of course.
This had a big scary ape!
King Kong.
Yes.
That could have gone wrong if I said.
Brooks and Spankus.
Yeah.
Let's roll.
Just came out.
The prom.
Yeah.
Yeah!
Let it go. Let it
Naked
go.
Man.
Frozen! No,
Naked
other
Man.
one.
Yeah. They can make it like save their
Come on,
son.
yeah.
Yes.
The people call it.
Ragtime.
Yes. You were in
You were in
this.
this show with Laura.
Ain't the ghost!
Yes. This was one of those live shows. That's not a good clue.
Oz, but not.
The Wiz. Think of the
Yeah.
Wiz.
Oh, on Pinky Wear.
They're doing a revival of this with Judy Coop and
President
Wes
shooters,
Taylor and
assassinators and president. Oh, wait, whoops.
they killed
Assassins.
Oh, this is better.
Piano
Not
on the
small,
floor.
but
Big
yes.
Yes.
That's better.
You gotta pay your every month.
Jews.
No.
You heard this too. Alpha.
Fiero.
Oh, Wicked.
Yes.
Thank
That
Is that it? Okay.
is your time.
Okay, so I clearly won that round.
4, right?
I had 6. I win.
Okay.
I just made that up.
All right.
Alright, so this time we're going to do it again without. That's what I always do, they always believe me. So this round we're going to do it again, but this time we're not going to give any clues. It's going to be up to you guys to yell out clues.
Yes.
So unify together and say one thing at the same time.
And be loud. I've been playing a lot of rock and roll. The last time we played this and Lion King came up, everyone went, nah! Okay.
Alright, we can do this. I'm
Wait,
with
so are you holding one up for the three of us, I guess, or it's still
No, it's
individual?
one over each
It's still
head.
one person.
Okay, cool.
Ready?
No rules, fine.
Oh, that's you.
Somebody help me!
I'm just looking at my mom at this point.
Okay.
your own. That was fun.
Miss Saigon!
Cool.
That's what you're good.
My fair lady.
And that is time.
So fun.
I made too many.
I think I won. Yeah.
I didn't even Well, Kevin, since you won,
Yeah?
I think we need to go to Tuesdays in the Corner with Kevin.
Kevin's corner now.
All right, Colin. Welcome back to Kevin's Corner, where I have a highly researched question based on a website that I found that you may not know has articles about you. So, here we go. This is the special BroadwayCon edition of Kevin's Corner. Colin.
Yes.
Number 6 on TVOvermind.com's list of 10 things you didn't know about Colin Donnell states that Colin played himself in 3 major plays in 2014 and 2015 because, and I quote, having featured prominently as an icon in the dance and musical film and theater genre for a long time, his name earned that traction. The three plays that they're referencing are Bright Lights, Big City, Broadway Sings Pink, and hashtag TBT Live Throwback Thursday, the concert.
Well, I did one of those 3 things.
That's what they list on this site. But speaking of concerts, according to Wikipedia, the 3 highest attended single artist ticketed concerts, excluding music festivals, are Vasco Rossi in Modena with 225,173 people, Biejelu Dume in Belgrade with 220,000 people,
Definitely how you say that.
and Glay in Chiba with 200,000 people. But the highest attended free concert is Rod Stewart's Rio de Janeiro concert with 4 million people in attendance in 1994.
How?
I love Rod.
1994 was clearly a big year for Rod. But it also was a big year for these famous folks who were born in 1994.
Oh no.
The Twilight Saga actor Boo Boo Stewart, Puerto Rican singer Bad Bunny, Oscar-nominated Saoirse Ronan, I don't know how to say it,
Everyone goes see Little Women is spectacular.
and super hot British diver Tom Daly. Yeah, he's really hot. So speaking of Daly, my question is, what are 3 Broadway songs that you could sing daily for the rest of your life and never get tired of singing?
And sing them.
That wasn't on the paper.
But I can.
3 Broadway songs that I could sing daily.
Like if you were just doing it in concert for the rest of your life and had to sing 3 songs, what would
Does
they
this
be?
include Broadway Sings Pink?
That major
Which I didn't do.
Were you really not in that?
No.
They also is a major play.
Yeah, I didn't do it.
It was a major play that year.
I may have been supposed to. I'm sorry if you went and I was supposed to be.
There's one person in the audience that's like, damn you, Colin!
I get a kick out of you from Anything Goes.
Sure. Okay.
I didn't sing it in the show, but I really like it.
You can sing it now.
No. Not to be too quick on the draw there. What else? Last time I came to Memphis from Violet was really special to
That
me.
show's so good.
Because they wrote it for me during the rehearsal period of the show when it transferred to Broadway.
That's fancy.
We had a really great time. Quick story, not that quick. They felt as if Monty needed another song at some point, so we sat down after rehearsal one day and we kind of went through this whole thing of like what we thought he did the last time he was in Memphis, and then they took it away and they created that song, which I loved and is now living forever on the soundtrack. That's a cast album. I'm sorry.
Robert
Sounds like a
runner
new.
here.
And thirdly,
And this third one, I'll make a little change. It can be a non-musical song if you want it to be.
well, I'll tell you, there's a song that was in Almost Famous, The Workshop, for like 2 weeks. It didn't even make it to the end of the workshop.
Did it almost make it?
And that's our time.
This has been great. St. Gags don't work on radio. I almost left. So who knows where it will end up or if it will come back. Oh man, this is a two-parter now. Shoot.
Okay.
So, long story longer.
Reply.
Yeah, I know.
It's okay.
So, you read a lot of different things. So, I love Tom Kidd. Do you guys love Tom Kidd? Yeah. Tom is amazing. And I don't know how many people know this, but I worked on the show If Then before it came to Broadway.
It's in my stack somewhere.
And there was a time in the workshop that Tom came in and he brought in a song that he had just written the night before, and it made me weep. I believe that it stayed in the show, and it was called Hey Kid.
Yeah.
Yes. It was the most beautiful song that I ever heard, and it was because Tom is magical and they're just phenomenal. And so he brought me that song, and I loved singing it, and I love singing it to this day. And sometimes it'll pop in my head, and I'm like, oh man, that's great. And he did the same when Almost Famous, during this process of Almost Famous. He's done the same thing a couple of times where he's just brought this thing in and he's, told me in the morning when he gets to rehearsal, he's like, I got this song, we'll do it this afternoon. I'm like, now. Like, how about now? You just got me excited and now I have to wait after lunch. And so there's a song that we did in the workshop, and hopefully it has a life outside of that workshop at some point. But I got to play guitar on it, and it was gorgeous and lovely and beautiful, and I could sing it every day, and actually I do at least play it and sing it a couple times a week when I'm just sitting around with my guitar. So there's my answer. I gave you 4.
Can you tell us the song name or no?
It is called
Colin's.
It's called My Song. It's called Knock Upon Your Door.
Cool.
You don't know it.
But you might. And this
But
is
you might someday.
Kevin's Corner.
Yay! Speaking of Almost Famous, I guess when it was on the West Coast, what were you hoping that it would convey to people sitting in that theater? And what did it convey?
I think the biggest takeaway for a lot of people was the amount of love that came out of the theater. It was a very special group that we had out in San Diego. To have Cameron Crowe in the room with us every day, working on the show, to be in his hometown where a lot of this stuff, where all of these things took place that informed him writing the original screenplay, was just really magical. And I think what people loved most about it was that it was a bunch of musicians who were showing their love of music through this musical. And that cast and all those creatives are a bunch of phenomenally talented musicians in their own right, who have an appreciation for rock and roll and also musical theater, which is great because we can love it all. And so it was very palpable, I think, from an audience's perspective, how important we felt this period of time in music was.
Sure.
And it was very exciting to feel that energy back, because when you think about it, our parents were of that generation. It wasn't that long ago. And they were going through this incredible change in rock and roll and this explosion of creativity and the creation of that sound and so they look back on it with such a fondness and such a nostalgia, and we were really giving it a rebirth, and we felt really honored to be given that task of like paying homage to that period of time.
Well, we really hope that there is another life for it somewhere else, so
Yep.
Yes.
we'll be looking out for that. But quickly before we have to wrap up here, you're back in New York.
Yes.
And we're in New York now.
Are we?
I think so.
We're in a ballroom.
Yeah. What are some things that you're super happy to get back to in New York? That are very New York things that you missed in Chicago or in San Diego?
Number one was my wife, Patty Hearing.
An opposite reaction to the affair.
You all know Patty Hearing. Yes, so getting back to day-to-day life with Patty and our pups has been the biggest.
That's a TV show, Day-to-Day Life of Patty.
Have you ever buffed?
I am a Pops, it's your band name.
That's actually gonna be my first band name. But it's being able to go see shows again. It's seeing, this city has an energy that cannot be replicated anywhere else. And I, like you guys and many of you out there, have been lucky enough to call it home for quite some time now. And as much as I love Chicago and the life that we built there, it's been amazing to come home. And New York is my home.
Have you seen anything that you like lately beforehand?
Oh man, I just saw part 1 of The Inheritance the other day.
Oh, so good.
Wonderful. Tony Goldman had just stepped in, and he and I got a chance to work on this very random thing in Morocco this past summer.
Cool.
It was
Broadway sings Pink.
the 17th highest attended paid concert in the world. But it was, it wasn't that funny. But it was. I'm very excited to be back in the city and trying to catch up on as much of the Broadway season as I can. And I'm very excited for some of the stuff that's coming out. I just got to run into Rob McClure upstairs. Come on, that guy.
Yeah.
Missed that one?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, on that note, that brings us to the end of our show. Thank you all so much for joining us here in the Grand Ballroom on the main stage at BroadwayCon 2020. Thank you so much to Colin for taking time out of his day to join us here, talk about all the stuff that you just heard him talk about. If you missed it, rewind the podcast and listen again.
We'll just start again.
Yeah. Hello, and welcome to the official Broadwaysted podcast. You can follow us at Broadwaysted on all social media. You can find us on the Broadway Podcast Network. Go there, BroadwayPodcastNetwork.com. You can find us on iTunes, Spotify. Rate and review us. 5 stars, please.
Thank you. You can find us physically at the Broadway Podcast Network booth.
Yes, we'll be there right after this. But we always end with a quote, and I kept it pretty simple on this one.
Okay.
Hold me closer, Tony Danza.
It sounds like the airport one.
Oh, really? Well, on that note, we raise our glasses. And we say, as we always do,
Cheers.
Thank you so much. Enjoy BroadwayCon, everybody. And again, thank you so much for joining us here on the main stage.
I do. Alright, I saw it. Alright.
On my face.
Awesome. Did you get one of these? To stop fire. It's worth it as well. Hi, did you get one of these? To stop